So, magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat.
Magandang gabi po mga kaibigan.
This episode of Know the Faith, karating ni Father Raven. Actually, napag-usapan namin ngayon yung wala pa tong topic na to, no? Gusto lang natin kasi pag nagkukwentuhan po kami ni Father Raven, hindi namin namamalayan yung oras. And we're talking about the faith, what's happening to the world, and sometimes we ask, sana alam ng mga tao itong pinag-usapan namin. And biglang may topic na ganito, nagkataon. Nilibre niya kami Starbucks ngayon.
Yeah.
So, coffee with Father Raven. So anyway, we're gonna be discussing a very important topic, which is marriage. And syempre, upcoming topic din ng divorce.
Yeah.
And it's something that most Catholics actually don't know. No? So what marriage is all about, how to find the right spouse, what are my responsibilities, and what are the effects in case na magdi-divorce ako, something like that. No, so we're gonna talk about these hard questions na some people are actually not willing to know the answer to. Okay, so pakilala ko muna natin si Father Raven. No? Actually, abang sa lahat, no, magkaibigan kami matalik na siya, nagkasal sa amin.
Yeah.
So Father Raven entered the Pontifical and Royal University of Santo Tomas Central Seminary back in 2007 and took up AB Philosophy at UST Ecclesiastical Faculties. Nasa Faculty of Philosophy siya. So gumraduate siya 2011, no? Sa quadricentennial yun, University ng UST. So after that, he pursued his theological formation at the same Pontifical and Royal University. So actually, pareho po kami ng taga-UST rin ako. And the Central Seminary, and graduated in 2016 with the degree of Bachelor of Sacred Theology, cum laude. Okay, take note, cum laude. So this guy's brain-wise. He's the man. So he was ordained as a deacon back in July of 2017 and assigned at the Immaculate Conception Parish sa Balibago City. Balibago, Angeles City.
Angeles.
Marami ka rin mga parishioners doon. Di ba? First mo yun eh. And in 2017, he continued his further studies at UST, having 2 courses at the same time. His licentiate in philosophy, which is an ecclesiastical degree, and a Master's of Arts major in philosophy, which is a civil degree, while having his residency at UST Central Seminary. Pagod doon.
Pagod.
Okay, so after ordination, he was ordained, by the way, April 2018. His pastoral assignments were he was the former secretary of the Archbishop of San Fernando, no? And he's an current exorcist of the Archdiocese, the vice rector of the Metropolitan Cathedral of San Fernando, the former parochial vicar of Our Lady of Grace Parish sa Mabalacat City, yun yung malayo destino mo yan. Parish administrator of St. Catherine of Alexandria Parish in Porac. And currently, nasa Malusak siya ngayon, sa Santo Rosario Parish. Currently, is also the spiritual director and confessor in St. Camillus de Lelis, Seminary in Varsity Hills, QC. Presently, he's a philosophy professor at Virgen Milagrosa del Rosario College Seminary in Balanga, Bataan. Ito yung mga tinuturuan mo recently.
Yeah.
No? So he's a member also of the priestly fraternity of St. Dominic in the Philippines and the current prior of the priestly fraternities of St. Dominic in UST Central Seminary, España, Manila. No? And he successfully defended his licentiate in master's thesis in philosophy with the title On the Capable Human Being and Social Political Responsibility in Paul Ricoeur's Oneself as Another. Last May 2023 with the grade of magna cum laude. And graduated having 2 degrees in philosophy, 1 in ecclesiastical and 1 in civil. Okay, at present, he's pursuing his doctorate in philosophy in the same Pontifical and Royal University of Santo Tomas and the Ecclesiastical Faculties, Faculty of Philosophy. So, Father Raven, di ba? Kahit marami kang Father, madali kang lapitan eh. Hindi ka makalat ng pare.
Oo nga eh, kaya nga umorma ako ngayon.
Oo nga eh.
Pare, para
Oo, di ba? Para at least makarelate.
Makarelate yung mga, lalo na yung mga kabataan.
Mga kabataan, oo. Actually, this is one thing that we're having difficulty because of the exposure in social media. Iba yung relationship eh.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's dive into the topic of marriage and eventually yung spiritual effects nito at saka yung spiritual effect ng divorce. Di ba? So ito yung hot topic ngayon. Ito, Father, ano muna? Actually, magtatagalog tayo kasi may mga tayo, magkakapampahan, mga di naman yun yan. So, I mean, why get married? I mean, di ba? Pwede naman kami magkasundo ng girlfriend ko, tapos mag-anak kami and stay in one room. Pero God ordained that you have to go through the marriage ritual, di ba? And then you can procreate. Why did God establish, marriage?
Well, because marriage is God's plan, no? Quoting from Catechism of the Catholic Church, Article 1602, 1602, it says, sacred scripture begins with the creation of man and woman in the image and likeness of God, and concludes with a vision of the wedding feast of the Lamb. Scripture speaks throughout the marriage and its mystery, its institution, and the meaning of God has given it. Its origin and its end, its various realizations throughout the history of salvation, the difficulties arising from sin, and its renewal in the Lord, in the new covenant of Christ and the church. No? So God Himself is the very author of marriage. Ang Diyos mismo ang may akda ng marriage. Quoting again from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, Article 1603, it says, God Himself is the author of marriage. The vocation to marriage is written in the very nature of man and woman as they came from the hand of the Creator. Marriage is not a purely human institution despite the many variations it may have undergone through the centuries in different cultures, social structures, and spiritual attitudes. These differences should not cause us to forget its common permanent characteristics. Although the dignity of this institution is not transparent everywhere with the same clarity, some sense of the greatness of the matrimonial union exists in all cultures. The well-being of the individual person and of both human and Christian society is closely bound up with the healthy state and of conjugal and family life. So, ang Diyos pala ang may akda, ang Diyos ang may kagustuhan na ang mga tao ay ikasal. So it means, madaling salita, pinabanal ng Panginoon ang matrimonyo.
It's His will.
Yeah. So, meron pa, no? The grace of Christian marriage is a fruit of Christ's cross, the source of all Christian life. Quoting from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, Article 1615. So, pinabanal ng Diyos ang sakramento ng matrimonyo.
So it's actually safe to say, Father, that this is what differentiates us among animals din.
Yes, of course.
So because we are chosen by God to be in His image and likeness, and therefore the marriage itself is an act of His image and likeness.
Correct.
And that's what identifies us with God.
Yeah.
And I understand as well that it's a relationship as a family, yung Holy Trinity, which is discussed natin a few weeks ago. And forming a family is actually very holy.
Yeah.
Spiritual talaga, no? Yung marriage. So kumbaga, siya yung may akda. And, it's His will. And so therefore, since we're just creatures out of humility, we're all bound to, just follow Him. And from what you've read, what I understand as well is, pag sumunod ka talaga dyan, may grasya. Tama?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So Father, ito, having said that, what happens to the soul, when we get married? Kasi ang intindi ko dyan, laging sinasabi natin sa kasal, we become one flesh. And it also says there na, no one can, wala makapagkiwalay. What the Lord had bound together, let nothing or no one separate, including the spouses.
Yeah.
They cannot even separate themselves.
Yeah.
Di ba? So, normally, pag ganun ba, Father, tulad niyan, the soul, one soul, bound together into one. Right? So, let's talk about yung halimbawang let's talk about halimbawa yung karapatan, nung bawat isa. Like, ano yung nangyayari sa kaluluwa ko na nabibigay ko sa asawa ko and vice versa? What are the things that I enjoy and, yung sa loob ng marriage? That's different from just simply cohabitating, for example.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, the couple will receive grace from God.
Grace.
Yun yung spiritual effect ng sacrament of marriage, no? By the way, i-define muna natin, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng grace? Again, quoting from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, Article 116 to 117, grace is a participation in the divine life of God. So, kapag tumatanggap tayo ng grasya, nakikibahagi tayo sa buhay ng Panginoon. At dahil ang mag-asawa, itong dalawang tao, ikinasal sila sacramentally sa simbahan, they receive grace from God.
Yes.
And that's from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, Article 1641, no? Sinasabi ng CCC 1641, sabi niya, this grace proper to the sacrament of matrimony is intended to perfect the couple's love and to strengthen their indissoluble unity. By this grace, they help one another to attain holiness in their married life and in welcoming and educating their children. So, may kasamang holiness. Hindi lang siya basta-basta union, hindi lang siya pagsasama. may kasamang kabanalan, no? At dahil dun sa grasya na yon na tinanggap ng mag-asawa, pati yung kanilang mga anak at
Mhm.
magiging anak, nababahagian din ng grasya ng Panginoon.
Yes. And I think I like to quote also Saint Teresa of Avila when she says, everything is grace.
Yeah.
Diba? So,
Mm.
even your breathing is grace.
Correct.
Your life is grace. So, kumbaga, grace is an unmerited favor from the Lord.
Yeah.
Ibig sabihin, he exists perfectly,
Mhm.
but the fact that He created us, He sustains us through His grace.
Mhm.
So, what we're saying is, without God, there's no grace.
Yeah, correct.
No? And I think this is also, talking about grace, if you're filled with sanctifying grace, it's also safe to say that the Holy Spirit is in you,
Mhm.
and yung fruits of the Holy Spirit will come out of that marriage.
Mhm.
Di ba? So, we're gonna go back to that kasi may magandang question with regards to sa mga away.
Yeah.
Balikan natin yung fruits of the Holy Spirit,
Correct.
especially yung peace and joy and kindness and gentleness. Okay, so Father, ganito. I think this is what you also asked doon sa canonical interview.
Yeah.
Right? The couple needs to know, husband and wife, they need to know what they're getting into.
Correct.
Di ba? So, in basic terms, for example, in general, let's define muna natin, Father. Ano yung role ng asawang lalaki at asawang babae? If someone is gonna ask you, Father, kakasal ako, ano bang role ko bilang lalaki?
Mhm.
So, how would you answer that question?
Well, napakasimple lang. Ano yung role ng lalaki bilang padre de pamilya?
Mhm.
Siya yung aakay sa kanyang asawa at sa kanyang mga anak patungo sa Panginoon.
Mhm.
Yung nanay, siya rin yung magtuturo sa kanyang mga anak. Yan yung role ng mga magulang.
That's the number one.
Yes, the first role of padre de pamilya, no?
So, the providence spiritually.
Spiritually, to bring his family towards God.
Okay, so having said that, well, alam naman natin, no, money you can give, although unfortunately may mga tao talagang nahihirapan sa buhay, they cannot provide. But I also see a lot of cases where, kasi nabanggit mo, bringing them closer to the Lord. And I firmly believe that being close to the Lord, one of them is prayer.
Of course. Yeah.
And making sure that the children and of the family receive the sacraments.
Sacraments.
Di ba?
And
So,
proper catechism, of course.
yeah, yun yung education eh.
Education.
Kasi also, I think when I read from the catechism, the purpose of marriage is tatlo eh. You procreate,
Yeah.
okay, and the education of your
The
kids.
education.
Ayun yung number one. Actually, pagka
Yeah.
nagpamilya ka, what I mean,
Yeah.
yun yung number one may provide sa mga anak mo, education nila. Plus yung good of the spouses.
Yeah.
No? So, kumbaga, hindi ka pwede magpakasal kung wala yung tatlong yun eh.
Correct.
Right? Impediment yun. Gusto kong magpakasal, Father, pero ayaw ko magkaanak.
Mhm.
Do you allow these couples to marry pag ganun?
Well, meron akong kakilalang ganyan. Actually,
Oo.
gusto lang nilang magkasama sila, pero ayaw nila magkaanak.
Mhm.
Actually, natatandaan ko, kinasal sila dito sa atin sa Guagua. Yeah,
Okay.
I know them. And gusto lang nila yung pagsasama nilang dalawa.
Companionship
bilang
nila.
mag-asawa. Yeah, yung companionship. But how could that be? Wala silang anak.
Right.
Alam mo, yung mga bata, yung mga anak, blessing yan mula sa Panginoon.
Right.
In the Old Testament, kapag ang mag-asawa, hindi sila nagkaroon ng anak, ang tingin sa kanila ng mga tao, nasumpa sila.
Problema.
Problema, oo. Kaya nga ang bata, ang anak, grasya yan mula sa Diyos. And yung anak, yan yung manifestation ng pagmamahala ng mag-asawa.
Yeah.
Di ba?
And yun nga, Father, di ba, as you mentioned, yung have a conversation nila Kenneth noon, that the conjugal act, let's use some politically correct words, the conjugal act, if done in the context of marriage, is actually a form of worship.
That's a sacrament, actually.
Sacrament,
According to
every intimate act na magagawa.
Yes, according to my professor in canon law,
Right.
Father Jose Maria Tinoco,
Nanonood pa si Father Tinoco.
Doctor of Canon Law, he
Yeah.
said that that conjugal act itself is a sacrament. Ginoke pa nga kami ni Father. Hindi ko nga alam kung pwede kong sabihin dito sa live natin yung joke na yun eh. Pero wag na lang siguro.
We can use some politically correct term,
Yeah.
di ba?
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's a sacrament. Kumbaga, you renew your vows every time. There's the intimacy.
Yeah, as long as you are in the context of marriage, ha.
Yes. Tama.
That conjugal act is beautiful in the context of marriage.
Yes,
But
correct.
outside marriage, it is mortal sin.
Mortal sin. Okay.
Alam natin yun.
Okay, which leads us to this. Okay, Father, yung sacramental versus civil wedding. I was studying, nasa USD ako, may theology professor kami. Tapos nagulat kami when she said, if kasal ka sa civil,
Mhm.
hindi counted yun sa sacramental wedding.
Correct. Hindi naman sakramento yung kasal sa civil.
Yun nga, I mean like, kasi I remember, my parents kasi are celebrating their April 23rd, dakit nga po sa inyo yun,
Mhm.
yung civil nila. But my mom said na hindi siya umuwi kay na papa nun.
Yeah.
Up until yung June 9,
Yeah.
na after ng church wedding nila. So,
Mhm.
umuwi pa rin siya sa akin na lolo, sa kanya.
Mhm.
Umuwi lang siya, nagbukod ng bahay, nung after the church wedding.
Mhm.
No? So, yung father, for example, no? Yeah, hindi siya naaayon doon sa unang plano pag ganun ng Panginoon.
Okay.
Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
I see.
And siguro, we can explain that in layman's term
Okay.
para mas maunawaan ng ating mga viewers.
Right.
Ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng kasal ka sa civil at kasal ka sa simbahan?
Mhm.
Well, may malaking pagkakaiba po yun, mga kaibigan. In layman's term, ganito na lang po para mas maintindihan. When you say, kasal ka sa civil, kasal ka lang sa papel.
Mhm.
And that is not a sacrament.
Right.
Kaya kayong kwento mo kanina, si Tita Bel, after nilang kinasal ni Tito Celso sa civil, umuwi ulit si Tita Bel sa bahay ng parent niya.
Yes, correct.
Diba?
That is correct.
Kasi hindi pa sila pwede magsama.
That's right.
Kasi hindi pa sakramento yung naganap.
Right.
Kinasal lang sila sa papel.
Mhm.
Iba yon sa church wedding.
Mhm.
No? Yung kasal sa simbahan. Dahil yung kasal sa simbahan, ito ay sakramento. No? Sige, tignan natin yung sinasabi ng Catechism of the Catholic Church, Article 1661, no?
Mhm.
1661. Sinasabi, the sacrament of matrimony signifies the union of Christ and the Church.
Mhm.
So, pag yung mag-asawa pala, yung lalaki at babae, ay kinasal sa simbahan, parang sinisignify niya
Mhm.
yung union ng Panginoong Hesukristo sa Catholic Church, di ba? Church is the groom. Jesus Christ is the groom,
Yes.
and the Catholic Church is
bride.
the bride.
Right.
And we can find that in the book of Revelation, no?
Yes.
Let me continue. Catechism of the Catholic Church 1661. It gives spouses the grace to love each other with the love with which Christ has loved His church.
Mhm.
That's the very reason bakit mahalaga po yung kasal sa simbahan.
Right.
Ano? The grace of the sacrament thus perfects the human love of the spouses, strengthens their indissoluble unity, and sanctifies them on the way to eternal life.
Okay.
That's the answer.
So, that's why, no, as I mentioned, we're gonna go back pa rin dun sa need of every human being of grace.
Mm-hmm.
So, sabi ko nga, I was reflecting the topic of civil wedding.
Mhm.
Sabi ko nga, correct me if I'm wrong, Father, no? Kasi differ ako sa'yo. Na after ikasal ka ni mayor or ni judge or kahit presidente pa ng Pilipinas,
Yeah.
hindi niya pwedeng sabihin na you may kiss the bride and go to your room and make babies. Hindi niya pwedeng sabihin yun.
Mhm.
Because it was a sacramental.
Yes.
There's
Correct.
no grace there, and he's not the proper authority to administer that.
Correct.
On the contrary, when after a priest administer na, no, the sacrament, yung matrimony, you may kiss the bride.
Mhm.
In fact, you're required to go
And multiply.
do your thing, go and
Yeah,
multiply.
yeah.
That's exactly the ano.
Correct. And that's biblical.
That's biblical, yun yung una. And in context of spiritually, then that's why, no, we have to. Ngayon, isa rin sa mga naging Father, minsan alam naman talaga nila na ganun.
Mhm.
But when we try to tell them na, hey, you know what, you should get married in church, you cannot live together yet.
Mhm.
And pag nako-correct na nababrand na na judgmental versus just simply, out of charity because you want to make sure that they're in line with their spiritual health.
Mhm.
No? And it also goes, Father, isa makatwiran to sa mga ganyan. Sabi nila, mahal kasing magpakasal sa simbahan.
Correct.
Yun yung katwiran.
Yeah.
But is it really that expensive?
Hindi po. Hindi
Right.
totoo yun. Well, bakit sinasabi nilang mahal magpakasal sa simbahan? Nasa kanila rin po Bakit
Exactly.
naging mahal? Pinakakabongga-bongga nila. Kailangan en grande talaga. Mamahalin yung bulaklak. Mamahalin yung mga isusuot ng mga ninong at ninang, ng mga abay. Hindi po importante yung bulaklak. Hindi po importante yung burloloy. Hindi po importante
right.
yung isusuot ng mga abay at ninong at ninang. Ang
Right.
importante po ay yung basbas ng pare.
Right.
At meron tayong tinatawag dyan, bro, yung kasal desposada.
Desposada.
Desposada. Yung
Wala
term na
narinig yan.
ginagamit natin dyan dito sa Pampanga.
Oo.
I do not know kung ginagamit din yan sa ibang lugar, pero dito sa atin, yung term is kasal desposada.
Mhm.
Ano pong ibig sabihin ng kasal desposada? Yung kasal desposada, well, sinasabi ng canon law, no?
Mhm.
Sa kasal, ang required lang ay yung pare,
Mhm.
yung couple,
Couple,
at dalawang
witnesses.
witnesses or sponsor, sorry.
Oo,
Isang ninong, isang ninang.
yun lang.
Yun lang. Yung 5 tao lang na yun.
So,
Para matuloy yung kasal.
yeah.
Ang importante lang dito yung exchange of vows ng dalawa eh.
Mhm.
'Di ba? At yung basbas ng pare.
Yeah.
Yun yung pinakamahalaga.
Yeah.
Hindi importante yung lalakad ka sa aisle, etc. Kaya nagiging mahal
Photographers,
lang yan.
videographers,
Correct.
caterer.
Correct.
Hindi naman kailangan din magpakain.
Yes, correct.
I mean, by the way, we're not making wrong whatever it is you prefer. Okay, what we're tackling now is that we're busting the myth ba tawag doon? Na
Mhm.
kailangan muna akong gumastos para magpakasal. In
Mhm.
fact, meron tayong mga kasalang bayan.
Kasalang bayan. At alam
Diba?
ko, libre yun, ano?
Ayun nga, Father.
Oo.
So, tanong ko rin yun na may discrimination ba kasi ba? Halimbawa, mayaman naman ako, pero ayaw kong gumastos. Pwede ba akong mag-attend ng kasalang bayan?
Pwede.
Pwede naman, di ba?
Pwede.
I mean, as long as I register, I do the paperwork and stuff,
Mm.
right? Just to avoid bigamy.
Mhm.
I remember kasi, yung mga anak ko rin, bininyagan eh.
Mm.
Pero hindi rin ako naghanda eh.
Ako nagbinyag kay Italia.
Actually, hindi pa siya nadi-discharge sa
Sa ospital.
doon sa chapel sa UST
Yes, sa
Hospital.
UST Hospital.
No, so bininyagan siya.
Yeah.
Before kami lumabas. So paglabas ng ospital, Katoliko na siya. Andrew, same
Opo.
thing. Si Andrew, after, kasi 2022,
Mm-mm.
paglabas namin sa ospital, dumiretso na kami kay Father Boy Luanzon.
Yeah.
Sa Santissimo Rosario.
Yeah.
At least yung kay Talia, nandun yung mga kapatid namin eh.
Oo.
Si Andrew, wala. Father Boy, si Andrew, ako tsaka si Pearl.
Mhm. Kayong
Kami lang
apat lang.
apat lang.
Oo.
Sinabihan lang namin yung mga ninukat nina, namili kami ng maayos, and then nilista namin doon sa office.
Mhm.
So, kumbaga, kayang hindi gumastos eh.
Yeah, kaya.
O, syempre, binigyan namin ng gift code din si Father Boy.
Yeah.
But what's token
Yeah.
for appreciation for the priest?
Correct.
diba?
Correct.
So, busted yung myth mo na kailangan
Yeah.
gumastos ka sa kasal.
By the way, yung binyag ni Andrew kasi
Yeah.
during that time, it's pandemic.
Yeah.
Kaya wala yung ninong at ninang. Pero
Oo.
sa binyag, it requires also,
Kailangan ng witness.
kailangan
Oo.
at least nandun yung isang ninong at isang ninang.
Right.
Yun, okay na yun.
Yeah. So, may exceptions. But the thing is that, yung basbas ng pari lang.
Basbas ng pare. In the same manner, sa kasal,
Mm.
5 tao lang yung importante sinasabi sa kasal. Sa
Oo.
canon law,
Oh,
yung pare, yung couple, isang ninong, isang ninang.
right.
And then, of course, hindi natin sila binabawalan maghanda.
Oo.
Pero para malaman ng lahat na hindi po mahal ang magpakasal.
Mm.
Ang kasal kasi, ang importante dito ay yung basbas ng pare at
Mm.
yung exchange of vows nitong couple.
Pwede rin namang, kung walang-wala talaga, magpakasal ka na.
Mhm.
So, after a year or two, tsaka mag-celebrate na.
Pwede.
Invitahin mo sila, di ba?
Pwede.
So, kumbaga, finances is not actually an excuse to prevent you from sacramentally marrying.
Mhm.
Ang pagkakaalam ko, even yung paperworks din ng civil,
Mhm.
yung may konting babayaran ka pa rin eh.
Correct.
You will still have that.
Yeah.
No? So, yun. So, debunk na yun. And ito rin
Mhm.
pala, Father, when they ask about, I still, ayoko magpakasal sa simbahan. Well, okay na kami sa civil and all that. And then again, going back doon sa correction,
Mhm.
di ba, when we say these things, yung sinasabi nila yung separation of church and state. Let's talk about that a little bit. Is it possible to separate church and state?
Well, philosophically speaking and politically speaking, meron talagang separation between the church and the state.
Yeah.
Magkahiwalay talaga yan. But let's try to decipher that the people of the church are the same people, the people of the state are the same people
Yeah.
going inside the church.
Yeah.
Diba? That's why kapag merong mga immoralities na nangyayari sa gobyerno, kahit sabihin mong magkahiwalay ang simbahan at ang pamahalaan, papasok pa rin ang simbahan.
Yeah. Well, having said that, God has laws.
Yeah.
The natural law.
Uh-huh.
And the natural law is summarized by the Ten Commandments.
Actually, that's the divine law.
Oh, divine law pala.
Divine law.
Sorry.
The
The
divine
divine law is summarized by the Ten Commandments.
Mhm.
And from what I understand, all laws
Mhm.
that are entrusted to human beings
Mhm.
must always adhere to the laws of God.
Correct.
Kasi yun ang magiging basehan mo ng morality.
Correct.
So, if isa-separate mo yun, ano yung magiging basis ng mga batas mo?
Mhm.
Majority vote lang ba?
Yeah.
And anytime that we deviate from the laws of God, chaos will occur.
Correct.
I mean, may magkakaproblema, may confusion talaga mangyayari yan.
Mhm.
Right? Lahat naman tayo aminado na bawal pumatay, masamang
Correct.
pumatay,
Mhm.
no? Pero syempre may exceptions that all also some, they accept.
Mhm.
And the thing is that when you deviate from the law of the Lord, gagawa ka ng batas na contrary doon sa divine law o sa Ten Commandments,
Mhm.
magka-create talaga yan ng correct me if yung term ko is disgrace.
Correct.
Di ba? Yeah,
Tama.
that's it.
And of course, let's also remember that whatever is legal is not necessarily moral. But what is moral is automatically legal. May malaking pagkakaiba po yun, mga kaibigan. No?
Interesting.
Hindi ibig sabihin na legal tong bagay na to, legal tong batas na to, moral na siya. It leads to morality. No.
Right.
But whatever is moral is automatically legal. Yan, natutunan ko po yun sa political philosophy namin.
Yeah, this is why I invited you over kasi these are the stuff that either people don't know or they deny.
Yeah.
And by the way, wag niyo po kaming anuhin kasi messenger lang kami ni Father Raven. Kumbaga, these are the truths that the church upholds and protect.
Correct.
Ito yung mga pinoprotektahan ng simbahan. At for thousands, 2,000 years, ito yung revelation. And not that even the church can change. Not even the Pope can change.
Yeah.
In fact, even the Pope needs to even protect these truths. No? So, ito po yung mga dinidiscuss natin na hindi ka alam na karamihan. Okay, Father, ito. Nagiging medyo mainit ng konti itong usapan kasi let's talk about topic of divorce muna. But before the morality of it, there are a lot of actually the majority of emerging reasons why people want to separate is violence. Diba? I mean, minsan they're asking, why did God allow this to happen to me? And all of these things. But from what I can see, violence inside marriage, like for example, yung abuse, verbal and physical abuse, diba? Yung abusive spouse is there. Can we safely say that isa yun sa mga suffering sa tao? Okay? But in suffering in general, Father, let's talk about that. Kasi may mga bagay ang Diyos na binibigay na minsan hindi natin maintindihan. Sometimes people ask, why am I suffering? Can you, brief, talk about the suffering of a human being? We said, Jesus died already, but why do we need to undergo all of these things in my life?
Siguro, I will quote from Saint Bernard of Clairvaux.
Yeah.
He said, impossibilis est Deus, sed non incompassibilis. Ano ibig sabihin nun sa English? God cannot suffer alone, but He can suffer with. No? So, tayong mga tao, we experience suffering. Number one, it's a way for purification. It purifies us.
Okay.
Yung suffering na pinagdadaanan natin, pwedeng napupurify tayo at lalo tayong pinalalapit sa Diyos. Kung alam natin yung talagang meaning ng suffering. No? Di ba si Saint Teresa of Avila, anong sabi niya? Disturb me, O Lord. Siya mismo yung humihingi sa Panginoon ng suffering na, Lord, disturb me kasi kapag wala na akong suffering na nararanasan, kapag wala na akong problemang nararanasan, natatakot ako na baka makalimutan kita.
Yeah.
Pero when I experience suffering, naaalala kong magdasal. Naaalala kong tumawag sa'yo. So yung mga sufferings natin, kahit mahirap, nilalapit tayo sa Panginoon. And for me, it's a good reminder that life here on earth is not permanent.
Yeah.
That's why we suffer.
Yeah. And happiness here on earth is not permanent. No, suffering, I think, is God's way of telling us na you cannot be happy here entirely, but also part of the role of the spiritual life is to find peace despite of chaos. To detach yourself from what you want that you think is good for you, but God thinks is different. Diba? So hindi ka, may for example, itong scenario like may isang mag-asawa, binubugbog siya ng kanyang asawa. Diba? And if you're gonna look at it, yung taong nang bubugbog at nang-aabuso shouldn't have married in the first place. Right? Because I'm not supposed to, kung akong babae, I'm not supposed to receive this kasi nga I have to be provided for and protected. And I think, ano yun? It's a criminal yun. Kasi nga, kung ako, pupunta ako sa labas at manununtok ako, demanda ako ng physical injury.
Correct.
And what more, yung mga tao na sa loob ng pamamahay ko, at ako yung nag-i-inflict nun. Sa canonical interview nyo, syempre, nalalaman natin yung mga ganun, no, na if you're capable of hurting your loved ones, then marriage is not for you. Am I getting that right?
Actually, sa canonical interview, bro, pinapaalaman na yung mga ikinakasal sa mga bagay na dapat nilang gawin at tinatanong sila kung ano yung background nila, no?
Yeah.
Even
So, kasama yun?
Yeah, even the psychological aspect of this couple,
Oo.
tinatanong ng pare. At during canonical interview, based on my own experiences, no? Sa canonical interview, during that interview proper,
Mhm.
I separate the groom from the bride. Mauna kong
Ibang interrogation.
iba yan, oo.
Right. Yeah.
Si groom muna,
Same,
okay.
same,
O kaya,
oo.
si bride muna. Okay.
Mhm.
Hindi kayo pwedeng magsabay kasi
Yeah.
meron akong gustong malaman na baka ayaw mong iparinig sa magiging asawa mo.
Yeah.
Ganun mo. So, kausapin ko siya, tatanungin ko, kaano-ano mo ba yung pinakakasalan mo, baka first cousin mo. Kasi baka tamaan yung canon law dyan eh.
These are hard questions that you ask, di ba? Wala kang pinapalaman.
Yes.
So, ibig sabihin nito, Father, unfortunately, kasi hindi lahat alam na kailangan mo ng canonical interview. Sa una pa lang, pag may impediment na, hinaharangan na pala.
Hinaharangan na. At kapag hindi yan nagawaan ng solusyon, pati kaming pare na nagkasal sa mag-asawang ito, pag hindi namin nakita yung impediment,
Liable.
pwede kaming, yes, we are liable, lalong-lalo na, meron kaming lisensya, marriage license
So,
na
tandaan nyo
pumipirma
yun,
kami
ha?
doon.
So, sa mga ikakasal dyan, for you to additionally, may additional knowledge ka about this person, allow the priest to brutally ask you these questions.
Yeah.
Kasi tindadalin nyo habang buhay.
Yeah.
Now, also, Father, halimbawa, sa canonical interview, sinungaling siya. Kasi it's also grounds for yun eh.
Yeah.
Grounds for nullification.
Nullification.
Pwede ka ma-annul kasi nga, nagsinungaling ka, hindi ka pala okay. So, yun yung natin, no? Yun yung kino-consider pala natin.
Yung pare, wala nang pananagutan doon.
Kasi good faith,
hindi naman alam ng pare eh.
Oo nga.
Nagsinungaling yung ini-interview niya.
That's right. Ay, siyempre, Father, yung responsibility din ng couple na alamin nila ang isa't isa eh.
Correct.
So, sa mga hindi po nakakaalam, may 4 na stages yung courtship. No? Then I believe, Father, even hanggang betrothal, you're not supposed to touch each other.
Correct.
So, meron tayong tinatawag na friendship stage. Ito yung, alamin mo kung kumusta ba siya sa mga kaibigan mo din and yung intention niya ba pure.
Yeah.
These things hanggang sa when they find out na pure yung intention. And by the way, gusto magpakasal dapat. You don't date or court if you're not intentional in getting married.
Correct.
So yung first, I think, according to Father Chad Fergariata, 3 to 6 months yun eh. And then sunod is yung dating. Yung dating is yung exclusive na kayo. You're not dating anyone else.
Yeah.
But you're spending time with one another in a safe place, pure zone, so to speak, just to find out if meron kang sufficient virtues to put up a family. No, so yun. And sunod, syempre, yung courtship na. Akala nila yung courtship, Father, paliligaw talaga na yung usual ginagawa sa West eh. Hindi pala yun eh. No, courtship is when you have to prove to the parents of your bride-to-be that you're capable of loving her more than they. You're capable of providing what he or she needs.
And you are responsible enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not just the giving part, but also yung emotional support mo sa kanya, yung maturity mo, yung gentleness mo, and vice versa sa mag-asawa. Right? And yung fourth is yung betrothal. Yun yung, dun ka na talaga, engage na kayo. And you're gonna plan the wedding na, sa kayo titira, these things, yung cult, and yung religion ng mga bata. Yung mga ganun eh. Although Catholic religion na may cult kasi na Eastern eh.
Yeah.
Eastern Rite, di ba? So, the father will choose that. But these are the things that they don't know eh. But until ikasal kayo, you're not supposed to touch one another.
Correct.
That's the thing.
Correct.
Yun yung proper way of courtship.
And sad to say, maraming mga tao ngayon, lalo na sa mga kabataang kinakasal, they don't know that, no?
Yeah.
Hindi nila alam yan. Yan yung nakakalungkot.
So, dalawa din, Father. I mean, they na-expose sa West. Ako rin naman, nahirapan ako nun. Yung exposure, magkaiba pala sa dapat gawin. That's why nung kakasal ako, nagpa-prepare ako kay Father Cesar Santos. About a year and a half of what to do. I'm preparing already. He gave it guidance about purity, about the right virtues and all that. Hindi pala madali, Father.
Correct.
You have to yourself, di ba? So, exposure sa social media sa West. And syempre, yung yung inability of parents as well to teach this kasi di nila din alam eh. Di nila alam yung nangyayari, how to properly court. No? And so, yun yung nangyayari sa atin. Also, Father, if we're gonna talk about kanina yung grace, di ba?
Yeah.
And the way I understand it, God is supposed to be at the center of your family.
Correct.
And if God and Mama Mary,
of course, importante yan.
Okay, teka lang ha. And Mama Mary is in your home, then the Holy Spirit will automatically reside. Kasi si Mama Mary is the spouse.
Correct.
Okay. So, yung fruits of the Holy Spirit, which is yung joy, peace, love, kindness, gentleness, yung mga ganun, no? Maghahari to sa bahay. And I believe as well, correct me if I'm wrong, if the Holy Spirit is here, then walang abuse.
Correct.
Walang mangyayaring ganito eh. But unfortunately, there are people who are experiencing this now. Na, well, yun, Father, kasal sila sa pare, pero nagulat na lang one day, ganito pala yung asawa ko, and we're even being threatened with our lives. And the law is protecting them against that, di ba? So, nagkataon na hindi nila na foresee itong mga ganito. Pero nakapag-I do na eh.
Yeah.
Yun eh. Nag-decision sila. Kaya nga nasa clause natin before ka mag-I do, for better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Until death do us part.
Sometimes they ask, anong percentage ng better or for worse?
Yeah.
Baka 1% lang yung better, 99% yung worse. And we're gonna go back doon sa suffering kasi this is probably, it's difficult to swallow to, Father. Pag-usapan na rin natin, this might be God's way of purifying.
Correct.
Yung suffering na yun.
Para sa mga nakakaintindi, it's a way of purification.
Yeah.
But for some people who don't understand the real essence of suffering, for them, it's a kind of punishment.
Punishment.
Pinaparusahan ako ng Diyos, kaya ako nahihirapan. Di ako mahal ng
I made
Diyos.
the wrong decision and all.
Yeah.
But they, most don't realize kasi that everything is happening either ordained or permissive will of Diyos.
Yeah, correct.
Diba? So I actually have, I know some people have heroic virtues like, na kasi nasa funeral lang tayo, no? And minsan maraming mga namamatay sa piling ng kabit nila.
Oo.
But yung mga asawang original, Father, they live, a sound Catholic life. And when I hear the stories of children, yung nanay ko nagsisimbay araw-araw, hindi siya nag-asawa ulit. Inalagaan niya kami. Inabandon lang kami pero siya nagtrabaho. Alam mo, Father, nung namatay yung tatay, namatay sa kabit for years. Diba? Yung nanay pa yung kumuha nung labi.
Wow.
Kasi at that time, walang pera yung kabit.
Oo.
Yung iba naman, may ganun din na nagkasakit yung original na asawa, tapos ayaw nang alagaan ng kabit kasi nga kabit eh.
Oo.
Sabi nung original, bigay mo sa akin ulit, alagaan ako asawa.
Bakit kaya?
Yun nga eh. It's the grace.
It's the grace of the sacrament.
It's the grace of the sacrament that allows you to be heroic in that.
Yeah, correct.
And by the way po, ito rin. Sabi din doon ni Father Chad Rieberger, ito consolation to sa mga babae. No? Kasi unfortunately, marami pong mga natawag doon yung babaeng ina-abuse na parang dinodominate sila.
Yeah.
Di ba? But meron daw mga saints sa heaven na ito yung asawa nilang lalaki. Kasi they embrace the will of God in the situation.
Saint Rita of Cassia.
Santa Rita, di ba?
Yeah, Santa Rita.
She was abused as well.
She was abused.
She was abused by the husband.
Correct. Kaya nga ang tawag sa kanya, battered wife, di ba?
Yes.
Binugbog siya ng asawa niya.
Yeah.
At yung pagbubugbog sa kanya ng asawa niya, yun yung naging daan para lalo siya maging banal.
Yeah. Well, in general also, the suffering is when God tests you with a difficult situation. And He will wait if you will do the right thing pa rin.
Correct.
It's a test of faith. Sometimes it takes a long time. Not just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 year, 2 years, sometimes 10 years, 20 years of suffering. But tama ka, this is not the only life we have. 100 years for the Lord, it's just blink.
Yeah.
It's just dot in the whole plan.
Because God is outside the context of time and space.
Yeah. So yung 100 years na matagal sa atin, posibleng sa Kanya, kapart yan ng plan.
Yeah.
So it's a test of faithfulness in our faithfulness to Him and yung willingness natin to submit our will. So it might be a little bit difficult to swallow, but if you want to know more about suffering, there's a book I recommend you. Why must we suffer? Okay. Sorry, why must I suffer pala?
Why must
okay,
I suffer?
Nasa iPad ko, ipapost ko yung pangalan ng book na yun. Binili ko siya somewhere eh. Pero it's worth really the suffering.
Yeah.
It's really worth the read when you're suffering.
Yeah.
No? And I think for Catholics who are contemplating this, who are there, on top of, syempre, creating, or on top of going to consult yung batas, yung mga abogado, to protect you. Because karapatan niyo pa rin na maproteksyonan kayo at ang anak niyo from abusive husbands. At hindi lang husbands yung abusive.
Minsan, yung wife.
Oo, yung wife din. Kung sino yung nagpo-provide
Yeah.
Yun yung problema din.
Yeah.
Kaya minsan hindi sila makalis sa pamilya nila kasi ina-abuse yung asawa, pero yung lalaki yung nagpo-provide and vice versa.
Correct.
Kaya they're letting it slide and they're suffering the relationship because yung provider ko, yung abuser ko eh. Tama? But then, regardless of what it is, the suffering is real. And at the same time, where suffering is present, mas nandun yung Diyos eh. Hindi lang natin yun ma-feel minsan because of our probably natural tendency to resent it. No? And it's unfortunate. But hopefully, sa mga susunod na magpapakasal, if you just know the proper way of finding or selecting the right spouse and the help of the priest na magkakasal for canonical interviews and the pre-K na seminar, I think they call
Yeah, pre-K na.
Yeah, making sure
Pagkaiba yun.
magkaibang session.
Pre-K na tsaka sa canonical interview.
Na-canonical kami sa Manila Cathedral, yung pre-K na namin sa San Carlos.
San Carlos.
Sa may Guadalupe. So, doon yung namin. Okay, so ito, Father, ito. Kasi divorce is coming up. We don't know, wala tayong control whether the lawmakers will pass this law eh. No? So, also, if you're Catholic and you're contemplating this, at let's just say pinasa siya, nasa sa'yo yan kasi free will mo mag-undergo niyan eh.
Yeah.
Di ba? Yung issue about abuse and violence, this is really, it's talagang yan. Kailangan talagang isang guni yan sa authorities eh. No? Pero halimbawa, Father, yung inaanal ba yung nag-away kasi kami, hindi ko gusto yung luto niya.
Hindi.
Yung halimbawa, or ito pa, even yung, let's make a little bit deep, nangaliwa. Like, may fling, or halimbawang, kasi ang alam ko, Father, sad to say, ang unang requirement kasi pag nagkamang isang spouse is magpatawad.
Yeah.
Which is very, very difficult to do. Especially, nagkasala siya sa'yo, nagkasala siya sa Diyos. No? And, syempre, ang hirap ng buuin eh. Right? Can we talk about more a little bit of the importance of forgiveness?
Well, forgiveness is not to forget, but to remember in a different way. Kasi, for me, I don't believe in to forgive is to forget. Well, if you can do that, congratulations. For you, if to forgive is to forget, congratulations. But
Only God can forget, I think.
Yeah, but that would be impossible. We are humans, and pag nasaktan tayo, minsan mahirap kumalimot.
Yeah.
For me, to forgive is not to forget, but to remember in a different way.
Right.
To remember in a positive way.
Right.
Example, the pain of betrayal. Kasi kanina you made mention about betrayal.
Yeah.
Yung lalaki nangaliwa.
Yeah, vice versa.
Yeah.
Nahuli.
Trinidor siya, pinagtaksilan siya, something like that.
Right.
Okay. Remember, si Jesus, he also experienced betrayal.
Yes.
He was betrayed by his friend, Judas. Diba? And that night, when he experienced betrayal, that was the night when he instituted the Holy Eucharist. Diba? On the night he was betrayed, he took the bread, he took the chalice, gave it to them.
Yeah.
Take this, all of you. This is my body. Take this, all of you. This is my blood. The blood of the new and everlasting covenant which will be shed for you and for many, for the forgiveness of sins. For many. Hindi niya sinabing except Judas. For many. For the forgiveness of sins. So pati si Judas, maaari.
Absolute yun.
Pinatawad niya lahat. Di ba?
Yeah.
So to forgive is not to forget, but to remember. And the last part, do this in remembrance of me.
Yeah.
Remembrance of me. Diba?
Napaka-timing ito, Father, kasi Corpus Christi lang. Nakaraan, no?
Yeah.
And from also, taken from my spiritual director in Opus Dei when he said, everything you're undergoing is your mass. So again, if you're Catholic, you're undergoing, whether it's a good experience in a day, in your marriage, or bad days, these are worthy of offering sa Holy Mass.
Correct.
And tama yung sinabi ng asawa ko dito. Kasi, one time she posted, she of course we're Catholics, no ako sa divorce. I have to make that stand. And they're telling her na, lucky ka because you're happily married. But we want to debunk that there's no such thing as happy marriage. Ako kasal ako, ikaw hindi. So, alam ko pinagdadaanan ko.
Yeah.
Walang perfect na marriage. Lahat, kundi lang din yung asawa ko. If you don't just, kasi we have to really maintain also taking the sacraments, otherwise. Kailangan namin yung misa araw-araw, rosaryo araw-araw, confessions every week. We're doing these things because even that is very difficult to follow because you have to control your urge, you have to adhere to the laws of God. Di ba? Wala namang perfect, Father. Hindi sasabi natin kaninang, yun nga, maghihiwalay nga, baka ayaw niya luto niya. Or nung nagsama sila sa isang bahay, humihilik pala.
Yeah.
Or makalat sa bahay.
Yeah.
These are things that unannulable.
Magkaiba yung ibig sabihin ng divorce sa annulment.
Okay, good thing.
Yeah.
Nakarating tayo dyan.
Oo.
I think we should define this and then we'll go to the spiritual effects of it.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Magkaiba. That's why, halimbawa, yung mga taong nakaka-experience, yung mag-asawang nakaka-experience ng domestic violence.
Right.
Because a while ago, you made mention about binubugbog, no, ng asawa.
Yeah.
We call that domestic violence. So it's one of the strongest argument for divorce. Diba? Hiwalayin ko na siya kasi binubugbog niya ako. Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na batas sa batas na declaration of nullity. Actually, the term is declaration of nullity. Instead of using the term annulment, in canon law, no, sa batas ng simbahan, mas proper gamitin yung declaration of nullity, no? That's why pag sinabi natin, if a person enters into a marriage, no, yung isang tao pumasok siya sa marriage and then that intention of caring for the partner without the idea that this is absolute, that is indissoluble, then it is not marriage at all. May pagkakaiba po, mga kaibigan, yung marriage, sorry. May malaking pagkakaiba po yung divorce at declaration of nullity, no? Okay, let me explain. Sometimes we call it annulment, but the proper term is declaration of nullity. Yung pinapahayag nating walang kasalang nangyari kasi may depekto right from the beginning.
You shouldn't have gotten married.
Yes.
Yeah, tama.
And we call that in canon law impediment.
Yeah.
Impediment. Halimbawa, bibigyan ko po kayo ng concrete example. Kunwari, kaninang umaga, meron akong ikinasal na couple. No? Si groom tsaka si bride. Kinasal sila kaninang umaga. Ngayong gabi yung kanilang honeymoon. And then, the groom found out na yung pinakasalan niya kaninang umaga, si bride, ay hindi pala babae.
Nako, okay. Okay.
So,
Nagkaalaman nung gabi.
Nagkaalaman, niloko pala siya.
Okay.
No? Akala niya babae yung pinakasalan niya. And then, nung nag-honeymoon sila kinagabihan, the groom found out that yung spouse niya ay hindi woman, hindi babae,
Right.
kundi lalaki rin. So yun yung tinatawag natin declaration of nullity, parang walang nangyaring kasal kanina kasi may nangyaring panloloko. No? May nangyaring panloloko. So yun yung pinapahayag na walang kasalang nangyari kasi may depekto.
Right.
We call that impediment. Divorce and annulment may look similar in effect.
Right.
Kaya yung mga ibang tao, confused sila. Akala nila, pag sinabi nating annulment, kapareho ng divorce yun.
Right.
No? Ay, magkapareho lang yun. But no, it's not. No? They are similar in effect. Kasi ang immediate effect ay magkahiwalay itong dalawa.
Right.
Itong lalaki at babae. But they are different in terms of principle.
Right.
They are different in terms of principle because in terms of principle, divorce is just a marriage in a matter of agreement that can be broken at this first sign of inconvenience. Hindi ko na gusto yung asawa ko kasi katulad sa amin, malakas yung humilik.
Yeah.
Hindi siya masarap magluto. Hihiwalayan ko na. I-divorce ko na kasi hindi ko na siya type, hindi ko na siya gusto. Hiwalayin na kami. That's divorce, no? Parang mababaw lang yung dahilan.
Dahilan.
Mababaw lang yung dahilan. But when we say declaration of nullity, marriage is truly indissoluble, kaya lang, because it is precious and important covenant, anyone who enters into it don't have a clear idea on what it is all about. It's defective in his or her intention, and therefore that can render the covenant null and void from the beginning.
Right.
So, my dear friends, the principles are totally different. Magkaiba po yung divorce sa declaration of nullity. Kaya wag po kayong magpapalito. Bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng declaration of nullity? Bakit pwedeng mahiwalay itong dalawang kinasal na to? Because of some impediments. No? Example pa po ng mga impediment. Halimbawa, yung lalaki binubugbog yung babae. O kaya, yun nga po, may mga may mga sensitive terms na rito eh. Baka may mga nanonood na kabataan. But these terms are canonical, no? Pinag-aralan namin yan sa canon law. Pero hindi ko na lang bibigyan na halimbawa yun. It's up to you to research. But,
impediments yun.
Yeah, impediments ang tawag natin doon. Ano?
Yeah. If you're gonna be divorcing your spouse because of these petty reasons, it will create weak marriages in the future.
Yeah, correct.
Also, yung tipong president siya eh. Sabi ko nga, pag nagkaganon, kung pwede palang divorce. So, halimbawa, mayaman ako, babae ako, mayaman nga, mag-aasawa tayo. Tapos, may plano ko yung divorce ka kasi pwede naman.
Oo.
After 2 years, nagkaanak ako sa'yo, I get half of your stuff, plus child support. And I can do that to multiple men.
And because of that, nawawala ng sanctity yung marriage.
Yes. Kasi, hindi na kayo isa. Okay.
At yan yung lagi kong sinasabi sa mga ikinakasal ko. Alam mo, kahapon, Sunday, meron akong, 2 days ago, Sunday, may ikinasal ako sa simbahan sa Porac. Ang pinakahabilin ko sa kanila, ang sakramento ay banal, sagrado. Hindi tayo naglalaro sa ginagawa nating sakramento.
Right.
No? That's why, yung divorce, para bang ang ginagawa ng divorce, I'm sorry, but I must tell the truth, kailangan kong sabihin yung totoo. Bato-bato sa langit, ang tamaan, bahala kayong magalit. Ang divorce, kaya tutol ang simbahan, kasi parang binabaliwala niya yung kasagraduhan ng sakramento ng matrimonyo.
Yeah.
That's it, no? Well, siguro ganito na lang, bro. Ipagpalagay natin. Let's begin thinking that by being a Christian, wag mo na lang sabing Kristiyano ako, no? In terms of being a human person na lang.
Yeah.
Siguro, hindi muna tayo Kristiyano dito. Tao tayo.
Tao lang.
Yun ang pinag-usapan natin. Without any faith at all, we are just human beings. Let's just say that you are a Buddhist, you are a Muslim, or even
Hindu,
an atheist, or a Hindu. What should be our attitude towards divorce? Diba? Well, law is not always based on faith. I-disregard na natin yung faith. Sige. Maging practical na lang yung usapan natin. Law is not always based on faith, but rather, law is based on reason. That is why the definition of Saint Thomas Aquinas, hindi theological. Hindi theological, practical po ito.
Practical, yeah.
Well, I'm quoting from Aquinas, sabi niya, law is an ordinance of reason promulgated by the competent authority for the sake of the common good. So, common good. Ordinance of reason. There is an order of reason and intelligence promulgated by the competent authority yung nasa posisyon. For what? For the sake of the common good. Ng kalahatan. Ng pangkalahatan. No? So, but what is reason tells us about marriage? Ano ba yung sinasabi ng reason natin tungkol sa marriage? Common sense. If a man and a woman wants to get married, what is their basis? Why they want to get married? Bakit gusto nila magpakasal? Diba? Feeling nila? They are in love? Yes. Pero when we say it's just a feeling that they want to get married, well, pwedeng kumupas yan.
But the feeling goes away.
Diba? Tama, pwedeng lumipas yan.
That's right.
The reason why two people, a man and a woman, come together and agreed on marrying each other is the intention that this man, this woman, will be my partner in life.
For the rest of my life.
In life, not just for the moment, hindi yung pansamantala lang yung pagsasama nila, no? Yeah. Iiwanan mo na siya pag ayaw mo na. Yun yung divorce eh.
Hindi mo na feel.
Pag hindi mo na siya feel, pag hindi mo na type, iiwanan mo na. Yun yung divorce. Yeah. Parang napakababa ng sakramento, bumababa yung value ng sakramento, no? That kind of thinking, you are entering into marriage, but a relationship of convenience.
Yes. I think that's the right term.
Yeah.
It's You're looking for your convenience.
Yeah. Gusto mo lang siyang kasama kasi ngayon kasi maganda siya.
Okay.
Pag pangit na siya, ayaw mo na, hiwalayan mo na. Gusto mo lang siyang kasama ngayon kasi magaling siya magluto. Pag hindi na, hiwalayan mo na. Well, anong tawag natin doon? Relationship of convenience.
Yes.
At napakapangit po nun, napakababa.
Yes.
Because by nature, marriage is about two people, man and woman, entering into a covenant.
Right.
And what is the meaning of covenant? Covenant, in theology, it is a solemn agreement between God and man.
Right.
No? You are entering a covenant at pag sinabi natin covenant, there is an agreement, kaya nga pumipirma kami, pipirma yung pare, Pipirma
Kasulatan yan eh.
kasulatan,
Oh,
pipirma yung
pinapile pa yan. Oh.
yeah, pipirma yung couple, pipirma yung ninong at ninang, di ba? And that is permanent and founded on love for each other, not just love in terms of feeling, but love in terms of desiring what is good for the other.
That's the definition of love. Eh?
Yes. And
Willing the good for another.
and that's according to St. Thomas Aquinas, love is an inclination towards good.
Yes.
It's to will the good of the other. Di ba?
Yeah. Ang hindi alam, Father, ng mga kapatid natin sa Catholic is, the only virtue that will remain in us when we go to heaven is charity.
Correct. Charity.
Charity is not just love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is willing the good for another.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just pure human love,
Mm-hmm.
you can will the good for another kung feel mo lang.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what charity is about. It's loving others and loving God, willing the good of another for the sake of God.
Mm-hmm.
Sabi sabihin yan, even if you do something bad,
Mhm.
this is sabi ni Jesus Christ, love your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot will the bad for you
Mm-hmm.
because I'm no longer gonna be charitable.
Mm-hmm.
And the first person I have to be charitable with is my family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, even if you're getting hurt,
Yeah.
kaya nga halimbawa, no, if the spouse, for example, nasigawan, nagsisigawan, or iba, yung pasensya na, nagsasnap,
Mm-hmm.
di ba? And part of love kasi is the forgiveness. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yun yung una mong manifestation ng pagmamahal mo, pagpapatawad.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what Jesus Christ did.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is love.
Yeah, tama. And siguro magandang i-define ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng love. No? We talk about love.
Yeah.
Kasi ang pagkakaintindi ng ibang tao, ang love ay tungkol lang sa romantic, something like, hindi. So, in Greek, there are 4 definitions of love.
Mhm.
Meron tayong tinatawag na eros,
Eros.
meron tayong tinatawag na storge,
Mhm.
meron tayong tinatawag na philia, at yung pinaka-importante yung agape.
Mm.
Agape. Yung sinabi mo kanina na kahit sinasaktan ka na, minamahal mo pa rin siya, pinapatawad mo siya. That is what we call unconditional love.
Yes.
That is agape.
Ito ngayon, Father, yung argument nila. I think I want to tackle this kasi very important to.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot get to that level.
Mhm.
But here's the reality. Di ba sabi nila, we are all required to become holy.
Mm-hmm.
And from St. Augustine's words, if you do not pray, you will not be saved. Those were his words. And people don't know the levels of prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Ni Saint Therese.
Mm-hmm.
Di ba yung 7 mansions, ba yun? And yung kanyang book, and the Ascent of Mount Carmel and John of the Cross. There are
Yeah.
9 levels of prayer.
9 grades of prayer.
So, what most Catholics don't know is that we're all required to ascend to those levels of prayers. Bakit? Kasi this is what makes it possible for us to conquer the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more you ascend into those levels, the more you shed the things that you don't need and to acquire the things that, the grace to do the things that you should, that in the beginning you did not have the courage to do or the ability to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, Father, it's safe to say na if you're serious with your marital life, both spouses should ascend.
Mm-hmm.
Kung isa lang yung nag-a-ascend, pwede niya hilahin yung isa. But it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah.
It sanctifies the other person pa rin. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
But if both talaga dalawa,
Sabay sila.
sabay sila,
Mm-hmm.
no? So, kumbaga, ano lang ang gagawin natin doon? Just do your job as a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
One is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer and frequenting the sacraments. Tama, Father? Yun yung ano natin eh. Yun yung isa sa mga requirements bilang parents din eh.
Mm-hmm.
Di ba? So, to be able to practice our souls in receiving grace. No? Okay. So, speaking about that, Father, okay, let's just assume na yung divorce na grant.
Mm-hmm.
May divorce law. Tama?
Mhm.
Law. Divorce law.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a Catholic and I am contemplating that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, for whatever reason. So, again, don't shoot us kasi po, hindi po ito, again, kayo po yan, gusto nyo nang gawin yan, free will nyo. Okay?
Tama.
But again, we cannot deny the truth of the repercussions of these things spiritually when it happens. So, scenario muna number 1, Father.
Mhm.
Scenario number 1. Hindi ako anal sa simbahan.
Mm-hmm.
Valid yung marriage ko.
Mm-hmm.
Pero nag-grant yung divorce ko sa state.
Mm-hmm.
Ikakasal ba ako ulit ng simbahan?
I think hindi.
Hindi, di ba?
Hindi.
Okay, kasi nga, valid pa ako eh.
Valid ka. Yung unang kasal mo sa simbahan,
Oh.
may valid yun.
Ibang dokumento yun eh.
Yes.
So
correct.
it's a document that's not just in
Mhm.
paper, but
Mhm.
it's binding.
Mhm.
And from what I understand, when you get married sacramentally,
Mhm.
you acquire the rights of the other person and vice versa in terms of their bodily rights.
Mm-mm.
So, may karapatan si Pearl sa katawan ko, and vice versa.
Mm-mm.
Am I understanding that correctly?
Mm-mm. Correct.
Yun yung turo natin, di ba?
Yeah.
Which leads me to the next question.
Yeah.
Okay, so halimbawa, nag-grant yung divorce ko, nag-asawa ako ulit,
Mm-mm.
yung una ko bang asawa, may karapatan pa rin ba spiritually sa katawan ko?
Meron.
See? Yun yung...
Meron.
Sabi ko, mukhang meron eh. I need to hear from you.
Bakit? Ang tanong, bakit?
Yeah,
Kasi, hindi naman nawawala yung validity ng kasal ninyo sa simbahan yung unang asawa mo.
right.
'Di ba? Bakit mo dinivorce and then nag-asawa ka ng panibago? 'Di ba? Merong reason 'yun eh. So yung una, which is yung divorce mo, ang nag-approve lang yan
State.
ang state. But not the church.
I think sa church even supposedly the Pope will approve that sa Vatican, di ba? Ngayon hindi na eh.
Hindi.
May nakadelegate, hindi pa rin pa ganun.
Hindi. Pero yun nga, katulad ng pinaliwanag ko kanina, iba yung ibig sabihin kasi ng divorce sa
Right.
declaration of nullity eh.
Yeah.
And the church is not in favor of divorce.
Mhm. Because of the reasons that we stated.
Correct.
Okay.
Masyadong mababaw kasi yung
So yun yung scenario number
Yeah, divorce, yeah.
scenario number 2.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, tama.
So scenario number 3, okay. How about my sacraments? I go to confession. Pero siguro I go to confession. I'm divorced. As I understand, kung hindi naman ako nag-remarry and I lived a good Catholic life, I can still have a good confession.
So, dinivorce mo yung asawa mo, pero wala kang pinakasalan.
Wala kinakasama.
Basta dinivorce mo lang siya,
Oo.
and then,
Nag-confess ako.
nag-confess ka.
Hindi ko siya-
What's the content of your confession?
I mean, dinivorce ko. Dalawang scenario din. Pwede dinivorce ko siya
Mhm.
because of this. Or, I thought the divorce is okay and I
Mhm.
just confessed other sins.
Mhm.
But I'm living in a state where I'm no longer providing
Mhm.
what I'm supposed to provide with my spouse because we're still legally married.
Mhm.
Di ba?
Mhm.
So, medyo gray area yung confession na yun.
Mhm.
Is that valid or sacrilegious?
Well, the sacrament, the confession is valid.
Mm-hmm.
No, on the part of the priest, when he gave the absolution, it's valid.
Yeah.
But on the part of the penitent, it depends upon your intention.
I see.
It depends upon your intention. Ano ba yung intention mo? Bakit ka nag-confess sa pare?
Mhm.
Di ba? And katulad nga ng sinabi mo, gray area yon,
Mm-hmm.
di ba? Malinaw mo bang sinabi sa pare yung intention mo during the confession?
Yeah. And then, also, Father, hindi ba occasion of sin na divorced ka?
Well, it's an occasion of sin.
Yeah.
It's an occasion of
It's an
sin.
occasion of sin.
And I
Which,
think,
yeah, we go through our act of contrition kasi and to avoid the near occasions of sin.
correct.
That's the act of contrition that we pray
Mhm.
because you have to, amend yourself.
Mhm.
And part of amendment is avoiding the near occasion.
Mhm.
So sabi nga, it's like, para siyang ito yung prutas na in-offer
Mhm.
na may option naman eh.
Oo.
Na sa una, masarap.
Mhm.
Pero pag kinagat, may long-term effect.
May long term.
Yeah. Okay, next question. I think ito yung pinakamatindi. 2 questions na pala. Okay?
Mhm.
Okay ako sa simbahan, di ako valid yung marriage ko. Divorced ako,
Mhm.
wala akong pinakisamahan,
Mhm.
nag-communion ako. But I'm living a life with no one with me. Just I'm single. Hindi pa rin no?
The mere fact that you
Divorced.
divorce your spouse, that's
Yeah.
against the church teaching,
Oo, kasi the fact na the church says no, and then
Yeah.
you still did it.
Yeah.
So,
So,
it becomes...
disobedience yun sa simbahan eh.
Okay. In terms of gravity, nag-divorce ka na, which is disobedience,
Mm-mm.
at nag-remarry ka pa.
Mm-mm.
So, kasal ka pa ng simbahan, pero kinasal ka ng state because the state says divorce is okay,
Aha.
and yun eh.
Kinasal ka sa civil, ha? Hindi sa simbahan. Liwanagin natin siya, bro.
Okay, sige.
Ah,
Tama.
yan.
May distinction pa pala yun.
Dinivorce mo yung asawa mo, yung unang asawa, yung totoong asawa mo, dinivorce mo yung totoong asawa mo,
Oo.
which is kasal kayo sa simbahan,
Mhm.
and then ikinasal ka sa pangalawang babae na hindi kayo kasal sa simbahan,
Mhm.
kasal lang kayo sa civil.
Yes, yeah.
Okay? So, mortal sin yun.
It is.
Correct.
It's black and white. Ganun
Yeah,
siya.
it's black and white.
Okay, kasi nga, yung katawan mo, you're supposed to be one pa rin with the
Mm.
original spouse.
Kasi sa simbahan kayo kinasal.
Oo, so you're still considered, unless you die,
Yes.
you're still one, but the body that's supposed to belong to your wife or
Mm.
husband was
Mm.
given to someone else.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people associate happiness with, I should be married with someone else. Probably this person will make me happy, not this guy.
Mm-mm.
So the happiness comes from other person.
Mm-mm.
No, so it's something that worth of considering. So ito yung sinasabi ni Jesus Christ sa Matthew 5:32.
Mhm.
Tama ba? 32, I think, when he said, whoever marries someone who's divorced,
Mm-mm.
unless it's a lawful union, sabi niya.
Yeah. Whoever divorces his wife and
So
marries
unless
another-
unlawful, unlawful, yeah.
Meron din siyang sinasabi dun sa Matthew. Tingnan natin yung
Oh,
Bible.
yan, yung American.
Yeah, ito yung
Oh.
ating Bible. Tingnan
Catholic
natin yan.
Bible ho ito,
Yes
hindi,
po,
hindi ito yung kulang. Okay?
Ito po yung kompletong
Ito
Biblia.
yung kompleto, ito yung Bible talaga na kinumpile natin mga Catholics,
Ayan.
okay?
Legit po ito.
Other topic pa yun, Mother.
Yeah, other topic. Siguro
About
sa
the
next.
Bible.
the next
Sa next
discussion
kape
natin,
ulit tayo. Sana sa
So,
kusina.
this is a Catholic Bible po, ha. So, let me read, no? From Matthew chapter 19, verse 9.
Yeah.
Sabi po rito ni Jesus, I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, unless the marriage is unlawful,
Yeah.
and marries another, commits adultery.
Yeah.
Yun yung tanong mo kanina,
Yeah.
sinagot ni Jesus.
Yeah.
What if kasal ka dun sa unang, sa legal na asawa mo,
Yeah.
dinivorce mo siya, and then nag-remarry ka, kinasal kayo sa civil, hindi
Yeah.
sa simbahan, ito po yung sagot.
Yeah.
Sabi ni Jesus, uulitin ko po. Sabi niya, I say to you, whoever divorces his wife unless the marriage is unlawful and marries another commits adultery. So you are in the state of mortal sin.
Yeah. So, sacrilegious communion.
Yes.
Sacrilegious confession.
Correct.
Because you're not avoiding it.
Correct. That's it. Malinaw po yung sagot natin, mga kaibigan.
You know, I had a friend who's, brother, I had a friend who's, nagpakasal siya, Catholic yung babae.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos nagpakasal siya sa lalaking Christian, hindi siya Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Pero siya, she's like, devoted Catholic siya before.
Mhm.
Hindi niya lang siguro alam yung mga ganito.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been about 2 years before she went to confession.
Mm-hmm.
So she got into confession, 1 year, 2 years, yeah. And the priest happened to be matandang pare na, siguro may traditional background din siya.
Mm-hmm.
The priest was straight.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a Catholic, but you did not marry. It's a mortal sin.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked to the husband, but through grace of God and the willingness of the husband, nakinig sa Catholic doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Nag-convert.
Naging Katoliko.
Naging Catholic yung husband. They got married.
Yeah.
May anak na sila nun.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the most beautiful wedding I've seen.
Yeah.
Alam mo kung bakit? Kasi kami lang.
Oh, nasaksihan mo.
Nandun ako. Ako yung veil eh.
Wow, very nice.
Ako yung veil.
Very nice.
Veil ba? Ako, basta isa kami ni Pearl nun.
Yeah.
And sabi ko, wow, I mean, look at the grace of God.
Mm-mm.
But, the humility of the wife and the humility of the husband
Mm-mm.
to look at the truth and grab it and say, you know what? This is right.
Mm-mm.
Let's go. God is right.
Mm-mm.
You know? And they're strong now. They're together with us. They're good friends. Kumpare namin sila. So, I really know, it's just the willingness to open ourselves.
Mm-mm.
Right? So, okay. Ito yung isa sa mga last topics natin, Father. Effects ng divorce sa future families. Marami magiging broken family nila.
Mm-mm.
No? And if a family is broken, actually they're saying na growing up in a violent family is bad.
Mm-mm.
Sorry, growing up in a divorced family or broken family is bad.
Mhm.
Siyempre, sabi nila na growing in a family of, where violence exists inside is equally bad.
Mhm.
Right? But if the proper preparation and the proper way of making sure that the other spouse is the right
Mm-mm.
spouse to marry,
Mm-mm.
then na-eliminate natin yun.
Mm-mm.
No? So, would you believe, Father, baka yung virtues ng mga bata rin because of petty reasons you're gonna separate. Hihina eh.
Correct.
Yung kanilang mga virtues of fortitude eh.
Mm-mm.
Is that the right virtues of fortitude yata?
Yeah. Bakit? Maapektuhan yung mga anak.
Right.
Maapektuhan yung mga bata kasi una sa lahat, yung grace nawawala. Doon pa lang sa mga magulang, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung grasya ng Diyos nawawala. So, pati yung mga anak, nadadama yan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diba? And ito pa yung practical na
Yeah.
bagay na pwede nating makita dyan, di ba? Meron kasabihan, no? Kung ano ang nakikita ng bata sa matanda, sa mata ng bata, ito ay tama. So, nakikita nila yan habang lumalaki sila.
Yeah.
Akala nila, yung ginagawa ng mga magulang nila,
It is,
Tama.
yeah. Wala silang
Oo.
prejudice doon.
oo, tama. So, gagayahin din nila yan.
Yeah.
That's why doon pa lang, napuputol na yung grasya ng Diyos. At hindi lang yon, napapasa-pasa.
Generation.
It's generation.
It gets worse every generation.
Yes, correct.
You're an exorcist. I think when this
Yes.
happens, it worsens throughout generations.
Correct. Yung tinatawag nating familiarity spirit or generational spirits, no? Yung cause ng
Yeah.
mga demons.
And also the inability to trust in the part of the children.
Mm-mm.
Kasi how can I trust this person is gonna divorce me anyway?
Mm-mm.
I cannot be vulnerable. I cannot show my weakness kasi nga pag nakita niya yung weakness ko, di niya ako magustuhan. Hindi na ako magtitiwala sa'yo. So they're not gonna form families anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it will have a direct effect in society.
Yeah.
And dito ako believe din, sabihin na natin, kaya yung family code kasi is designed talaga to make sure that there's no divorce.
Yeah.
Na, mapaparusahan yun, dapat parusahan. And, ma-preserve yung values of being together in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And tama si Mama Mel dito. It all boils down to the spiritual life and the family that prays together.
Stays together.
Stays together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, Father, na-appreciate ko yung, kasi minsan, aminado naman ako minsan, pagod. Pero minsan, gagawa ko, dadaling ko sila sa Blessed Sacrament. Doon kami magdadasal. Kasi ganun galing kami doon eh.
Mm-hmm.
And isa sa mga takot ko bilang ama is mapariwara yung mga bata.
Mm-hmm.
And limited din naman ako sa knowledge ko on what to teach them. And sometimes, it's difficult to teach, especially may familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the showing of the practices of the Catholic faith that makes it solid eh.
Mm-hmm.
And I really commend here my wife kasi my wife also is an advocate of the Eucharist.
Mm-hmm.
Kundi lang nga siya buntis ngayon, we would have gone to Mass together every day. And sabi nila, if pareho nagpa-practice yung mag-asawa, 90% daw namang anak will stick to the faith.
Example, yung parents ni Saint Therese of Lisieux.
Yeah, si Zeli and ano pangalan niya? Mga Martins eh.
Yeah, Martins. Yung parents ni Saint Therese, no?
Yeah.
So,
What's his name na yung muntik na magpare yung tatay niya eh.
yeah.
Diba? Tapos negosyante yung nanay niya.
Mm-hmm.
5 sila magkakapatid na babae lahat.
Mm-hmm.
Pero
Yeah, Louis and Marie
si
Zélie
Louis, yeah.
Guerin
French.
Martin.
Yeah, they're French.
Louis and Marie Zélie Guerin
Yeah.
Martin. Yung nanay at tatay ni Saint Therese.
Nagdadasal kami sa kanila noon nung kakasal kami kasi sila yung, I think, sabay na canonized na mag-asawa.
Yes.
Diba?
Diba? Ang ganda, no?
Hindi rin biro yun kasi si Louis suffered from stroke eh.
Yeah.
And he has to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think the daughters all became nuns.
Nuns.
Religious
Carmelite
sila.
nuns. No?
And the one is a doctor of the church.
Yeah. Saint Therese
So,
of Lisieux.
It is what it is. No? So the ability for... Basta in short, we just do our jobs as Catholics.
Yeah.
And intensify because there's no such thing as lukewarmness.
Mm-hmm.
And these things are happening because of the lukewarmness of most Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
If we just do our jobs, then you don't have to speak anymore.
Yeah.
Our actions will, Yeah. So, okay, Father, ito. Last na lang, di ba? Yung mga basics natin, halimbawa, kung kahanap ako ng mga pangasawa.
Mm-hmm.
Ano yung mga red flags? Basic red flags, tsaka green flags. Hinahanap natin. Di ba? So, I think sa akin is yung spiritual life. I think kanina, yung magigipag-date tayo, syempre, alamin mo, itong mga pangasawa, anong oras ba ito nagdarasal sa araw niya?
Mm-hmm.
Right? May morning offering ba to? Is this person, kumbaga, non-negotiable ba sa kanya? Dapat may 15 minutes of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Yun yung hinahanap ng dating eh.
Oo.
No? Also, yung siyempre, praying of the rosary, importante yun. Kasi nga, si Mama Mary has to be present.
Yeah.
Without her, she's the mediatrix of grace. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
Lahat ng grasya dumadaan sa kanya. And through the Holy Rosary, I think there's this, yung mga 15 promises.
Yeah.
Everything we ask for in prayer, that praying the rosary. Hindi lang niya sinabi kung ilang rosaryo dadasalin mo.
Oo.
But if you come up with the right number, and the adjustment of your virtues and soul, then you're okay. Siyempre, alamin din natin dyan kung regular ba yung confession niya.
Yeah.
Diba? Devoted ba siya sa Holy Mass? And willing ba siyang mag-mortify or sacrifice for the sake of the family? Willing ba to, diba? So, hindi naman yung mga green flags na to, hindi naman to mahirap gawin eh. In fact, if you're a Catholic, these are the things that you ought to do talaga. If you want to be part of the team, then this is what it is.
Yeah.
And the unwillingness to do these norms, ito yung talaga. So sa una pa lang, kung alam mo na hindi ganito, may karapatan ka na, even if sometimes the feeling says otherwise.
Yeah.
Di ba?
But sad to say, bro, alam mo, yung ibang kabataan, hindi nila alam yung value ng spiritual life eh. For them kasi, parang wala lang, gusto ko lang makipag-relationship sa isang tao na to because maganda siya, diba? O kaya, gwapo siya, something like that.
They see the outside.
Yeah, they see the outside but they don't look at the inside.
Yeah.
Yun yung nakakalungkot, no? Yun yung nakakalungkot. That's why when they decided to get married, no?
Boom, hindi nila alam.
Boom, hindi nila alam yung kanilang spiritual aspect.
Wala palang virtues.
Wala yung virtues na yun. Kaya ano nangyayari? Hindi sila nagtatagal.
Yeah. And they're hoping that they're gonna change the other person.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, of course. Kung wala kang relationship sa Diyos, kung wala kang malalim na relasyon sa Diyos, paano ka makakapag-build up ng magandang relationship sa asawa mo?
Interesting.
'Di ba? Kung wala kang malalim na relasyon sa Diyos, paano ka magkakaroon ng malalim
Ano yung magiging model mo?
Yeah, ano magiging model mo?
Yeah.
Para magkaroon ka ng magandang relasyon sa mapapangasawa mo or even sa mga magiging anak ninyo.
Yeah. Okay.
Diba? Always remember, mga kaibigan, lalo na po sa mga mag-asawa, God is the author of your married life. God is the author of your love life, of your love story. No? Ang nakakalungkot, yung mga ibang tao, kaya nauuwi sila sa paghihiwalay because they forgot the very author of their love story, which is God. May kasabihan tayo eh. I do not know if you're aware of this. It takes two to get married, but it takes three to stay married.
Yeah.
Diba?
Well,
Dalawang tao lang ang kailangan para ikasal, lalaki at babae.
I like that.
It takes two to get married, but it takes three to stay married. Sino yung pangatlo? Ang Diyos.
Diyos.
Hindi po third party Ang Diyos. Alam mo, nung unang panahon bro, nakita ko dun sa isang picture na post sa Facebook. Nung unang panahon, yung pari pala, pag nagkakasal siya, bago matapos yung kasal, binibigay niya sa couple yung crucifix. No?
Yeah, may nakita akong post.
Yung
hawak nilang parehas.
Inabot ng pari yung crucifix sa
I think in Spain they do that eh.
I think. Until now, no?
Yeah, until now, yun ang culture nila.
May meaning yun eh.
Yeah.
Yung unang meaning yun, well, ito yung cross mo, yung asawa mo. that's just a joke. Pero ang ibig sabihin talaga nun, yung totoong kahulugan nun is, sa buhay ninyo bilang mag-asawa, kasama ninyo dapat ang Diyos.
Yeah. Yeah. Without God, we're nothing.
Yeah, we're nothing.
And,
sana alam yun ng lahat ng mga mag-asawa.
So, marriage is a test of faith. And our salvation and sanctification depends upon how faithful we are, yung fidelity natin sa grasya.
Tama.
Even if the situation is not in our liking, even if, kasi wala naman immune sa suffering. Lahat tayo.
Lahat.
It might look okay sometimes in social media that people are okay, but deep, when they're alone, when we're alone, we're, tayo na mag-isa, and behind the scenes, we're all suffering. We're all in the same boat. So it pays really to be diligent with our faith.
Correct.
Okay? So, medyo napahaba yung ating kwentuhan. May na-miss out pa ba tayo, Father? Any last words aside from the sinabi mo kanina?
Well, siguro ang mahalaga po rito ay makita natin yung kahalagahan ng sakramento.
Yeah.
Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng sacrament? Ito yung final word ko. Sacrament are the visible signs in which we feel the invisible presence of Christ.
Right.
Ang kasal, ang matrimonyo, sakramento po yan. Nabasa ko po sa canon law. Kaya even sa Catechism of the Catholic Church, kaya ginagawa ang kasal sa loob ng misa, ini-integrate ang matrimonyo sa loob ng misa because we are in union with Christ and His Church.
Yeah.
Hindi lang yung dalawang kinakasal, kundi kasama natin si Kristo at ang buong simbahan. That's why it makes sacred.
Yeah.
Yun yung nagpapabanal, yun yung nagpapasagrado sa kasal. So, sana po itong ating discussion ngayong gabing ito ay lalong lumalim
Yeah.
yung ating pangunawa sa sakramento ng matrimonyo,
Yeah.
sa kasagraduhan ng matrimonyo, at lalong lumalim yung ating pananampalataya sa Diyos at yung relasyon natin sa bawat isa.
Yeah. So, I hope you learned a lot and you can share this video as much as you can. So, para mabigyan din ng education, no? Actually, lahat including, especially yung future generation na commitment natin yun.
Yeah.
Yung mga susunod na ikakasal. No? So, this video is actually posted in both of our, posted timeline ko, nakatag siya, nakapublic din sa kanya, and it's also posted in our newly published page, we just created a YouTube page for Know the Faith.
Know the Faith.
No? So, yung ating link is nasa caption natin sa taas sa Facebook, no? So please do subscribe, hit that like button and yung subscribe button for succeeding videos, and mukhang mapaparami itong mga conversations natin. Ito special session to, Father, kasi hot topic to ngayon.
Hot topic siya.
It's very serious. Because only the Vatican and the Philippines now ang walang divorce.
At sana,
Yeah.
ipagdasal natin, wag matuloy.
Yeah.
Dito
And
sa atin, sa
most
Pilipinas.
importantly, pagdasal natin yung the faithful, that they'll be more knowledgeable when they get into marriage. Plus the catechism. Kulang tayo sa mga katekista.
Yeah, at yan yung nagiging problema eh.
Yeah.
Dahil kulang sa catechism, kaya maraming taong napapariwara.
Yeah. Okay? So maraming salamat. Hope you can join us in our succeeding videos. Sana may value to sa inyo. And may God bless you all. And thanks for watching.
Thank you po. Maraming salamat. God bless.